Welcome back to the sanctuary of the unseen. Welcome back to anything you want. You are here because you understand that the true spectacle of fame is not what happens when the spotlights are turned on, but what transpires in the shadowed moments before the curtain rises. You have joined our community because you refuse to be satisfied with the polished perfection of the runway. You crave the raw, unscripted humanity that breathes life into the image. Today, we are taking you behind the velvet ropes of a high-stakes fashion show, into the chaotic heart of the backstage area. We are uncovering a series of intimate gestures between Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin, moments so tender and so telling that they have redefined what it means to be a power couple. Before we step into this world of silk, nerves, and silent devotion, please, solidify your commitment to the truth. Press the subscribe button, ignite the like button to help us conquer the algorithm, and if you truly wish to support high-caliber, independent storytelling, our join button is your gateway to the inner circle. Your support allows us to paint these portraits with the grace they deserve. Today, we witness the art of being the wind beneath someone's wings. Let us begin. What happened backstage before the house lights dimmed and the pulsating rhythm of the runway music began has revealed, once again, just how deep and inextricably linked the lives of Kerem Bürsin and Hande Erçel have become. To the outside world, waiting in the darkened auditorium, the expectation was simple: to see Hande emerge as a flawless star, a distant creature of beauty and poise. However, it turned out that behind that veneer of perfection lay the final, crucial touches applied not by a stylist, but by Kerem's own hands. The backstage area of a major fashion show is a frenetic ecosystem. It is a hive of kinetic energy where stylists, makeup artists, designers, and assistants race against a merciless clock. The air is thick with the scent of hairspray, the rustle of expensive fabrics, and the palpable tension of creative perfectionism. Yet, amidst this swirling chaos, one figure stood out for his unnatural stillness: Kerem Bürsin. According to exclusive sources close to the couple, Kerem was an island of calm in a sea of noise. He did not leave Hande's side for a single moment. He was not there merely as a spectator or a plus one, he was an active participant in the architecture of her image. From the final fitting of the dress to the minute details of her hairstyle, from the selection of the jewelry that would catch the light to the look of her shoes, he watched his partner closely at every stage, his gaze acting as a mirror that reflected only her best self. But what set Kerem apart from the entourage of professionals was the intimacy of his involvement. He didn't just observe from a safe distance, he intervened with a delicacy that spoke volumes. Witnesses describe a scene that felt almost domestic in its tenderness. At one point, Kerem reached out to delicately adjust a strap that had slipped millimeters off Hande's shoulder, securing it with a touch that was both possessive and protective. He smoothed a microscopic crease at the waist of her dress, his hands moving with the familiarity of someone who knows the landscape of her form better than anyone else. Perhaps the most touching detail emerged just moments before she was due to step onto the runway. As the adrenaline peaked, Kerem carefully gathered the front of her hair, arranging it to frame her face perfectly. Those who witnessed these moments say there was an indescribable harmony between them, a silent language of touch and response. Kerem's gaze toward Hande was not only full of the admiration of a lover but also imbued with a strong sense of protection. He was ensuring that when she walked out there, she would feel armor-plated by his love. Hande, in turn, responded confidently to Kerem's every touch. In those predictably tense moments before a show, where insecurity can often creep in, Kerem's presence was a balm. His smiling glances, his brief but meaningful whispers, demonstrated that these moments were much more than just a simple preparation process, they were a ritual of grounding. I have to pause here and ask you, the romantics of anything you want, do you believe that true support is found in the grand gestures, or in the small, invisible acts of service like fixing a strap or smoothing a crease? Have you ever had someone anchor you before a big moment? I am fascinated to hear your philosophy on partnership in the comments below. And remember, if you appreciate this deep dive analysis, clicking the join button is the best way to help us keep this channel independent. Another detail that unfolded just seconds before the cue to walk was a scene of profound emotional resonance. It is said that Kerem leaned in close, invading her personal space in the most comforting way possible, and told Hande, "You're ready, you shine as always." Hande reportedly paused briefly, taking a deep breath, inhaling the confidence he was offering her. Then, in a gesture reminiscent of a classic cinema romance, Kerem took her hands in his, squeezed them firmly to transfer his strength, and escorted her to the edge of the runway. This scene was like something out of a movie for everyone present. Kerem Bürsin, an actor admired by millions for his on-screen roles, was playing a role behind the scenes that was just as impactful, if not more so. He was the unsung hero of the night, the stage manager of her confidence. At the end of the show, as the applause filled the room and the lights washed over the catwalk, Hande Erçel's confident smile clearly demonstrated the efficacy of Kerem's support. As soon as she stepped off the runway, breaking the character of the model and returning to herself, she immediately scanned the room. She looked around for Kerem, and her relief was evident when her eyes found him. Amid the thunderous applause and the rush of congratulations, Kerem leaned toward Hande and whispered something private in her ear. The meaning of this whisper remains one of the great mysteries of the evening. Was it a compliment? A shared joke? A promise? We may never know, but Hande's smile, which bloomed instantly and radiantly, became one of the most talked about details of the evening. The rumors that quickly spread on social media led to comments like, "Kerem isn't just her boyfriend, he's Hande's biggest supporter." Fans highlighted the simplicity yet immense strength of their relationship. The idea that Kerem Bürsin sees Hande Erçel not just as a red carpet partner, but as a lifelong companion, was reinforced by this fashion show. While everyone was talking about the designs on the runway, these quiet yet meaningful moments of preparation backstage were etched in memory. We are decoding the subtle language of true love today. If you are enjoying this narrative journey through the backstage of romance, please take a second to like this video. It tells us that you value depth over drama. And for those who want to help us keep the lights on and the stories flowing, our Super Thanks feature is always open. The conversations following the show proved that the impact of the evening continued even after the runway lights went down. When Hande Erçel returned backstage, flushing with the adrenaline of success, the first person she approached was Kerem Bürsin. She bypassed the industry titans and the press to reach him. The moment they embraced, despite the surrounding crowd of assistants and well-wishers, it felt as if time stood still. It is said that Kerem smiled at her proudly, a smile that reached his eyes. And Hande rested her head on his shoulder for a fleeting moment, a gesture that screamed, "I'm so glad you were here." This closeness was a silent testament to the naturalness and strength with which love can be experienced, even in the hyper-professional, artificial environment of a fashion show. Some representatives of the fashion world present backstage claimed that Kerem Bürsin's participation was much more than mere moral support. It was stated that Kerem arrived at the venue well before the show, closely observed Hande's rehearsal process, and even occasionally exchanged ideas with the styling team. However, the way Kerem approached this process, without interfering, without ego, but with extreme respect, won everyone's admiration. Hande clearly values Kerem's opinions, treating him as a partner in her aesthetic life as well as her personal one. Rumors circulated that their relationship was growing closer, transitioning into a new phase. The couple, who attended the reception together after the show, were inseparable all night. Kerem's chivalry was on full display, pulling out Hande's chair, holding her hand to guide her through the crushing crowd, and never taking his eyes off her while she spoke to others. These actions prompted comments in gossip columns. They're at the most mature stage of their relationship. Hande's light touch on Kerem's shoulder as they spoke to guests further demonstrated the naturalness of their harmony. These small but significant details suggested that the couple was experiencing their love without needing grand, performative pronouncements. They simply were. Later, some leaked behind-the-scenes anecdotes on social media further heightened the excitement among fans. The claim that Kerem gazed at Hande for a long time in front of the mirror before the show and said, "This is your moment," was quickly shared thousands of times. Fans interpreted Kerem's behavior as the posture of a true partner, one who is secure enough to let his significant other shine. Hande also reportedly told her inner circle that Kerem's presence gave her a great deal of confidence, a grounding force in a whirlwind industry. This fashion show not only showcased Hande Erçel's solid position in the international fashion world but also highlighted the current state of her relationship with Kerem Bürsin. While the cameras focused primarily on the runway, the real story unfolded behind the scenes. By personally preparing Hande for the show, by fixing the strap and smoothing the hair, Kerem demonstrated once again that she is not only his girlfriend but also his greatest motivation and his priority. He showed us that love is found in the details, in the silence before the storm, and in the hand that holds yours when the world is watching. And that, my friends, is the story of the unseen ritual that took place behind the curtain. We have walked through the chaos of the backstage, analyzed the tenderness of the touch, and witnessed the maturity of a love that uplifts rather than competes. Now, the conversation turns to you. Do you think Kerem's involvement in the preparation is the ultimate sign of a strong relationship? And what do you think he whispered to her at the end? Let us know your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Do not forget to subscribe to Anything You Want and ring that bell. We are your home for the truth behind the glamour. Join the family if you can, and until next time, find someone who fixes your crown before you step onto the stage. Goodbye.